1959 when she was mine. Going back in time, back there to 1959, back there to 1959 when she was mine. There was a dance that wasn't fated for romance, not for romance. Oh, I saw the lovers all covered in blood, covered in blood. All the young lovers were stabbing each other, were stabbing each other with knives. Rappies and greasers were fighting with switchblades, and some had to run for their lives. Going back in time, back there to 1959, back there, 1959 when she was mine. Going back in time, back there to 1959, back there, 1959 when she was mine. All right, thanks for joining me. That was a song that I wrote called 1959. Thanks for the comment there on the screen. Hello, and welcome to You're Being Observed by the Ghost Realm on this Wednesday morning. Hope you all subscribe to my YouTube channel. There was a song that I wrote called 1959. Here's a song I wrote called 1969. Okay. When they look up to space, dance with the girls in the fields with the flowers in their hair, see them dance in the fields. Sending out my love vibration, psychic gravity, silver chain and ruby lavalier are the only things a hippie goddess ever wears. Naked and feels back in time, back in 1969. Well, they feel so sublime, so sublime. Naked and feels back in time, back love vibration, psychic gravity, silver chain and ruby lavalier are the only things a hippie goddess ever wears. Naked and feels back in time, back in 1969, where they feel so sublime, so sublime. Naked and feels back in time, back in 1969, where they feel so sublime, so sublime. Found a place of beauty so sublime. She could see futures inside the past. If she goes along extremely fast, light speed, she's everywhere. She's everywhere in time. She's everywhere in space. Light speed, she's everywhere. She's everywhere in time. She's everywhere in space. Mindy is a super saiyan girl, celestial girl. Lives her life, she lives on every word. Way beyond the apogee we see with human eyes. She has seen a billion other skies. Light speed, she's everywhere. She's everywhere in time. She's everywhere in space. Light speed, she's everywhere. She's everywhere in time. She's everywhere in space. Yeah, that was a song that I wrote called Lightspeed. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the. inside my soul. Out there on the hidden prairie, life is just imaginary. Death is something that I only dream. Found some hidden magic powers in the garden, magic flowers in the garden, found another life. That was a song that I wrote, work in progress, hasn't been completed yet. It's called Escape from the Abyss. But I want to give it another name so it gets more YouTube views. But right now it's on there's Escape from the Abyss. A levitating California girl, she's levitating to another world. She's levitating to another place, a place in outer space. This is the story of a young chartreuse. She's only happy when she's drinking booze. She's only happy in the troubadour. I'm running for the door. Stirring up the trouble, she's a real firebrand. Stirring up the trouble, now she's fighting with the band. Disembodied diva, yeah, she's coming out on top. Disembodied diva, yeah, she rules the world of pop. Fornicating with another girl. They float away into another world. I'm fornicating with her on my bed, my levitating bed. I see her there in the temple of Woodbines. She's everything I want. She didn't have to have a speaking part to get into my heart. Stirring up the trouble, she's a real firebrand. Stirring up the troubles, now she's fighting with the band. Disembodied diva, yeah, she's coming out on top. Disembodied diva, yeah, she rules the world of life. That was a song that I wrote called California Girl. Hope you all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Here's a song that I wrote called Chicago Girl. Pablo Picasso on a carousel. Some call it heaven, others call it hell. By the Picasso was her vanishing. It's a Chicago thing. Tell you a story, a Chicago girl. She disappeared into another world. She disappeared into a work of art, and she became a part. She became a part of a work of art. She became a part of a work of art. She became a part of a work of art. All right, that was a song that I wrote called Mojave Desert Girl. Travels round the world, travels round the world, multi-city girl, equanimity, looking for anonymity. superstar. Drives a fancy car and drives along to the bar. Drinks alongside a bar. Nighttime at the carnival, multi-colored lights. Nighttime at the carnival until the end of time. The cyclone and the cyclops, the amusement never stops. The cyclone, now she's in the big time, yeah, I knew she had the chops. She's a pop star all alone in a bar, a pop star all alone in a car. Pop star, but she's alone at night. Pop star boarding a lonely flight. Pop star all alone in a bar, pop star all alone in a car. Pop star, but she's alone at night. Pop star boarding a lonely flight. Her intrepid trips, lipstick on her lips. With her painted face, she travels deep in outer space. Like the Lizard King, she can really sing. Like the Lizard King and all the beauty she can bring. Naked as she's making my hallucinogenic dream. There's no way to fake it as she's letting out a scream. Brings me to a higher state of my concupiscence. Cosmically, orgasmically, I jump over the fence. Pop star all alone in a bar. Pop star all alone in a car. Pop star, but she's alone at night. Pop star boarding a lonely flight. Pop star all alone in a bar. Pop star all alone in a car. Pop star, but she's alone at night. Pop star, but she's alone at night. Take a lonely flight. That was a song that I wrote called Pop Star. Here's a song that I wrote called A Ghostly Kiss. Sexy Mabel, see her in the graveyard mist. Now she's just a fable, but she's looking for a kiss. The ghost of Betty Grable in the underworld are fabled. In darkness she is able, in the graveyard mist. How can you resist the ghostly kiss? In the graveyard mist, I'm looking for a kiss. How can you resist the ghostly kiss? In the graveyard mist. Never fell in love in my whole life. In the graveyard mist, a ghost can be my wife. In the afterlife, she could be my wife. In the graveyard mist, I'm looking for a kiss. How can you resist the ghostly kiss? In the graveyard mist, I'm looking for a kiss. Human and divine, our souls forever shine. How could you resist? Listen to the disembodied souls, what the future holds. The many sounds of silence to be All right. Thanks for joining me. Hope you all subscribe to my YouTube channel. That was a song that I wrote called "The Ghostly Kiss." And the next song I would like to do is a song I wrote called "Midnight Caravan." In my midnight caravan, take you places that I can, take you out of space and time, take you places so sublime, rolling down those empty streets, far from all the city heat, right before the end of time, I can make you feel sublime, so sublime. So sublime, so sublime. Now you're mine, now you're mine, now you're mine. Welcome to my masquerade. Here the darkness never fades. Gardens of gardenia, this is our utopia. That which seems illusory is as real as it can be. Nothing is or isn't real on my magic movie reel. So sublime, so sublime, so sublime. All right, that was a song that I wrote called Midnight Caravan. Here's a song that I wrote called New York City Girl. In a black limousine, in a cinema scene, go downtown, go downtown, in a black limousine. I've got plenty of drugs. Come on, baby, give me a hug. Go downtown, go downtown, in a black limousine. New York City girl, she's looking pretty, she's a New York City girl. Drive downtown to a movie scene, in a black limousine. New York City girl, she's looking pretty, she's a New York City girl. Drive downtown to a movie scene, in a black limousine. Fishnet stocking with gloves, everything that she loves. Go downtown, go downtown, in a black limousine. Champagne, beautiful host, now we're ready to toast. Go downtown, go downtown, in a black limousine. New York City girl, she's looking pretty, she's a New York City girl. Drive downtown to a movie scene, in a black limousine. New York City girl, she's looking pretty, she's a New York City girl. Drive downtown to a movie scene, in a black limousine. Broadway gave her all much she didn't feel it deep. Broadway gave her all much she didn't feel it deep in her soul. Took a trip to West, to Hollywood, she could work with the best. Now she's back in New York to make a movie while the world is trying to sleep. Now she's back in New York to make a movie and it's really making me weep. Raisinets. Don't try to sell me any Raisinets. I never liked the fucking Raisinets. Don't try to sell me any Raisinets. Mystery poll. I pulled back. Wait, okay. Mystery poll. I put my poll into the popcorn box. Yeah, I'm so clever as a fox. So baby, grab up in my bowl. Popcorn, baby, popcorn. I wanna buy a bag of popcorn. I wanna take you to the movies. And put a bucket full of popcorn. Popcorn, baby. Alright, that was a song that I wrote called Popcorn. It's funny, the way I wrote that song, I was just sitting here in my basement, and I got this movie. I get a poster of a movie called Popcorn. It's a horror movie, so I'm just looking at this. I'm looking at this poster, and I just see the word popcorn, and I just thought, I'll just write a song called Popcorn, and I just wrote it on the spot. Okay, so, all right. Pirates boarding a ship, taking a trip, searching for gold. Pirates of old, pirates are back for the attack. In her sweet melody, she can be free, free as a bird, away from the herd. She can be heard without a word. Then came the storm. They were forewarned. Then came the storm, then came the storm. Nobody survived. All of them died. No one survived, then came the storm. Now a ship full of ghosts, set for the coast, is sailing away beyond the bay. I hear them play, coming this way. 10 barrels of blood, blood that they bled, blood that they shed, blood that they bled, blood that they shed, blood that they bled. Then came the storm. They were forewarned. Then came the storm, then came the storm. Nobody survived. All of them died. No one survived, then came the storm. Fine women and song, got them along where they belong. Got them along where they belong. Got them along. If they have to fight They're gonna fight into the night. They're gonna fight into the night. They're gonna fight. Then came the storm. They were forewarned. Then came the storm. Then came the storm. Nobody survived. All of them died. No one survived. Then came the storm. Ghost back in the flesh. Back in the ghost. Back in the flesh. Back in the ghost. Back in the flesh. Back in the ghost. Such a terrible sound. Lost and unfound. That's where they're bound. Lost and unfound. That's where they're bound. Lost and unfound. Then came the storm. They were forewarned. Then came the storm. Then came the storm. Nobody survived. All of them died. No one survived. Then came the storm. Oh, that was a song they wrote called Pirates. Music that I loved when I was 16. It was the music that I loved playing loud between. Now I'm driving all around in my mean machine. So the music that I love means so much to me. Punk rock power gonna save my soul. Punk rock power gonna save her soul. Kiss her late at night at the punk rock show. Then we'll find another funky place to go. See her in the spotlight on the music stage. See her in the spotlight letting out her rage. I can feel the power of the rhythm and rhyme. I can feel the power, feel it every time. Punk rock power gonna save my soul. Punk rock power gonna save her soul. Kiss her late at night at the punk rock show. Then we'll find another funky place to go. Nothing comes between us when we're having fun. Nothing comes between us, now we're on the run. To another town they listen to our sound. Up is never down, they're in another town. Punk rock power gonna save my soul. Punk rock power gonna save her soul. Kiss her late at night at the punk rock show. Then we'll find another funky place to go. Dressed in green and purple, now she's leather clad. On her motorcycle, yeah, she's looking bad. Looking rather beautiful in moonlight lace. Looking rather beautiful and pretty face. Punk rock power gonna save my soul. Punk rock power gonna save her soul. Kiss her late at night at the punk rock show. Then we'll find another funky place to go. Alright, that was a song that I wrote called Punk Rock Power. Here's a song that I wrote called Sweet Kentucky Road. All the days say goodbye to his Mississippi wife. That's the day I realized that someday she'd be my wife. I made her fall in love with me, I didn't need a knife. I made her fall in love with me, it's such a lovely life. Took all of his money and drove off in his car. We drove off in his car straight to the local whiskey bar. Just beneath the stars we watched the fireworks explode. Drive around our stolen car on sweet Kentucky road. Criminals, subliminal, we're wanted in 4 states. Our getaway car gets us far and has no license plates. We gaze upon the beauty of the dreamer and the dream. We gaze upon the beauty of the schemer and the scheme. In the middle of the night, it's the visionary side. It's the bandits and the gold on the sweet Kentucky road. Visions of a better life are visions of a love. Our love is a kind of love that came from up above. On the sweet Kentucky road, 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 sweet Kentucky road, on the 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 sweet Kentucky road. All right, that was a song that I wrote called Sweet Kentucky Road. I'm going to switch over to the other side of the room. I'm going to move the phone because I got to plug it into the charger because it's low on batteries. All right, thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for joining me. I hope you all saw my YouTube channel.
Seen the pub at 3 a.m. Stuck the sack up the overage. Records are portion of callbacks in place. Everything is gone. Hong Kong's present like this. Come to circadian rhythm. I see the day when the news was bring by. I just covered every day sleeper. The bull and the bear are marking their territories. They're leading the blind with their international glories. I'm a string, I see. I'm a string. I see the day when the newspaper bring my kind of story. I fell by your bed once. I didn't want to tell you. I should keep myself in between the pages of the green line room. If we fall by the side, will you be remembered? Will she be remembered? Alone in a crowd, a bothered lantern borrowed. If I'm to be your camera, then who will be your film? From the inside room, when the front room greeting becomes a special book. It was simple then, when the party was. If we fall by the side, will I survive? Can you remember? Alone in a crowd, a bartered lantern borrowed. If I'm to be your camera, then who will be your film? Alone in a crowd, a borrowed lantern borrowed. If I'm to be a camera, then who will be your film? Thanks for joining me. That was REM with Camera. Now, I help you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thanks for joining me. Well, I dreamed I saw the knights in armor coming, saying something about a queen. There were peasants singing and drummers drumming, and the archers split the tree. There was a fanfare blowing to the sun that was floating on the breeze. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 1970s. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 1970s. I was lying in a burned up basement with the full moon in my eyes. I was hoping for replacement when the sun burst through the sky. There was a band playing in my head, and I felt like getting high. I was thinking about what a friend had said. I was hoping it was a lie. Thinking about what a friend had said. I was hoping it was a lie. Well, I dreamed I saw the silver spaceship flying in the yellow haze of the sun. There were children crying and colors flying all around the chosen one. All in a dream, all in a dream, the loading had begun. They were flying Mother Nature's silver sea to a new home in the sun. Flying Mother Nature's silver sea to a new home. All right, thanks for thumbs up. That was Neil Young's song After the Gold Rush. There's a Katy Perry song called Chained to the Rhythm. Are we crazy? Living our lives through a lens, trapped in our white picket fence, like ornaments. So comfortable living in a bubble, so comfortable you can't see the trouble. Are you lonely? comfortable living in a bubble, bubble. So comfortable you've never seen a trouble, trouble. So put those colored glasses on and party on. Whoa, 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 turn it up, it's your favorite song. Dance, dance, dance to the distortion. Turn it up, keep it on repeat. Stumbling around like a wasted zombie. Yeah, we think we're free to drink. This one's on me, we're all chained to the rhythm, to the rhythm. Whoa, 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 turn it up, it's your favorite song. Dance, dance, dance to the distortion. Turn it up, keep it on repeat. Stumbling around like a wasted zombie. Yeah, we think we're free to drink. This one's on me, we're all chained to the rhythm, to the rhythm. How we don't them keep sweeping it under the mat. Thought we could do better than that. I hope we can. Comfortable living in a bubble's bubble. I've never seen a trouble. So your rose-colored glasses on and party on. Whoa, 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 turn it up, it's your favorite song. Dance, dance, dance to the distortion. Turn it up, keep it on repeat. Stumbling around like a wasted zombie. Yeah, we think we're free to drink. One's on me, we're all chained to the rhythm, to the rhythm. Whoa, 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 turn it up, it's your favorite song. Dance, dance, dance to the distortion. Turn it up, keep it on repeat. Stumbling around like a wasted zombie. Yeah, I think we're free to drink. This one's on me, we're all chained to the rhythm, to the rhythm. It is my desire. Break down the walls to connect, inspire. Up in your high place, liars. Time is ticking for the empire. The truth they feed is people so many times before. They greed over the people. They're stumbling and fumbling and we about to riot. They walk up the lions. Turn it up, it's your favorite song. Dance, dance, dance in the distortion. Turn it up, keep it on repeat. Stumbling around like a wasted zombie. Yeah, I think we're free to drink. This one's on me, we're all chained to the rhythm, to the rhythm. Whoa, 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 turn it up, it's your favorite song. Dance, dance in the distortion. Turn it up, keep it on repeat. Stumbling around like a wasted zombie. Yeah, I think we're free to drink. This one's on me, we're all chained to the rhythm, to the rhythm. It goes on and on and on and on. It goes on and on and on and on and on. It goes on and on and on. They're all changing the rhythm. so sweet when you give me that hummingbird heartbeat, hummingbird heartbeat, hummingbird heartbeat. Spread my wings and make me fly. Taste of your honey is so sweet when you give me that hummingbird heartbeat, hummingbird heartbeat. I float a million miles just to find the magic seed, the white flower with the power to bring love to me. You're so exotic, my whole body fluttering, constantly craving for a taste of your sticky sweet. Always on the brink of a heart attack. You give me life and keep me coming back. I see the sunrise in your eyes, your size. You've got a future full of blue skies, blue skies. Even the seasons change, our love still stays the same. You give me that hummingbird heartbeat. Spread my wings and make me fly. The taste of your honey is so sweet when you give me that hummingbird heartbeat, hummingbird heartbeat, hummingbird heartbeat. Spread my wings and make me fly. The taste of your honey is so sweet when you give me that hummingbird heartbeat, hummingbird heartbeat. You love me, never love me now. Oh no. When we're in harmony, you make me sound like a symphony. Oh, your wings can make me fly. The taste of your honey is so sweet when you give me that hummingbird heartbeat, hummingbird heartbeat, hummingbird heartbeat. Spread my wings and make me fly. The taste of your honey is so sweet when you give me that hummingbird heartbeat, hummingbird heartbeat.
Oh, that was a Katy Perry song. I kind of like some of the old Katy Perry songs when she had like some of the songs that are real edgy. I kind of like to start writing songs like that again. Okay. Let's see. Because she played at a punk fest. It was actually called the Warped Tour. And that's back when she had some edgy songs that she was writing back then. I'd like to hear some more of those from her.
Saw you at the grocery store, and you both looked happy, picking up the usual. You carbon copy everything you lost, everything I'm not. I guess you forgot how to pick up. He's what I heard about, that I'm disappointed. He's the reason why you left. That I'm not impressed at all. This looks like the end. We can still be friends. Congratulations. Let me be the first to wish you the worst, 'cause I think you deserve each other. Let me be the curse that creeps under your skin until your heart caves in, and you wish he was me. Again and again and again and again. Seldom would tell the truth, yet I'm always honest. I read you like an open book, and it's obvious to me, just the one between, heading nowhere fast. Sure, it's gonna last forever. Let me be the first to wish you the worst, 'cause I think you deserve each other. Let me be the curse that creeps under your skin until your heart caves in, and you wish he was me. Let me be the first to wish you the worst, 'cause I think you deserve each other. Let me be the curse that creeps under your skin until your heart caves in, and you wish he was me. Again, and again, and again, and again. I wish you the worst. So when my voice breaks, called interpretation, when I hold it, it's 'cause I want to, not 'cause I feel anything about you. So don't let yourself thinking that I love you make you emotional from major to the minor. When I lose control, I'm not trying to impress you. Break it down, did I get your attention? But it's just formula, don't need your validation. Validation. This is just a song. This is just a song. Music plays and then it's gone again. This is just a song. Words don't mean a thing. So every time I sing, I love you all along. Remember, I'm feeling nothing. Yes, I'm an autopilot. I have sung these words. You don't sing them while I'm sleeping. Just cause you have shown up here to see me doesn't mean I'm going home with you this evening. I know December is the month we've had, but it rhymes with remember. How did you forget? I was only giving a performance. I didn't notice that you were in the audience. In the audience. This is just a song. Music plays and then it's gone again. This is just a song. The words don't mean a thing. So every time I sing, I love you all along. Remember. Everybody knows it. This is just a song in the night. Everybody knows it. This is just a song and I don't feel a thing for you. Everybody knows that rhythm, rhyme and structure doesn't mean I love you. This is just a song. Music plays and then it's gone again. This is just a song. Words don't mean a thing. So every time I sing, I love you all along. Remember, this is just a song. Walk the alleys in the dark, sleep with candles burning. I leave the door unlocked.